Hi and welcome to another edition of Top Tips Tuesday. This week's tip is for those home buyers and investors thinking about getting into the property ladder, and the tip is this a good time to get in, invest in property. Several tips we're going to cover off today. What I'm personally seeing is a lot more inquiries coming through over the last 2 months, and a lot of people are really focusing on getting that wealth creation going and seeing the markets really trending and really turning. So the first thing you should do is look at the data. So CoreLogic does a market report every month. Comes out just at the start of the new month, and it reflects all the capital cities around Australia. For example, we saw most capital cities up in the end of September, very positive signs, and that's been trending up over the last 3 to 4 months. So always look at this facts, data, statistics. They really tell you a picture of what's actually happening. Number 2 is check your finance situation. So what we're seeing now, the good news is property interest rates have started to stabilise, and the banks are hungry for business, and some of those banks are starting to be a little bit more flexible in their funding as well. So always go back to your lender and get a bit of an update on what your current borrowing capacity is. That may have changed since the last time you spoke to your lender or your mortgage broker. Tip number 3, take advice from experienced property owners. Property investors that have been in the market and seen lots of different cycles, they are generally aware of what's happening and understand property is a long-term game, but they're looking at all the data, reading all the reports from these experts, and they can really give you some good, useful advice on what's happening in the market. Number 4 to consider is what we call the cost of opportunity. So do we make a conscious decision to buy a property today, or do we delay that decision? Using Brisbane as a case study, over the last quarter, the last 3 months, Brisbane property prices were up 3.9%. So that means if we waited another 3 months and those figures were accurate, that means that $800,000 property would have gone up by $31,000 in just 3 months. So that's what we call the cost of delaying that decision, or cost of opportunity, when the market's trending upwards, which we are seeing now. So just remember that. Should we buy now or later? If the market is moving in an upward trend, it's going to cost you more money down the track. So that's really helped. I think there's a lot of positive news. As I mentioned, I'm seeing a lot of inquiries from home buyers and investors really looking to get back into the market. It's a great time. We've got huge population growth, limited new builds going on, so the demand is very strong. Thanks for watching, and see you next Tuesday.